Well Centers. Going to be talking in depth today about your health issues, your health concerns, anything and everything that you got going on. Put those down below. I will be answering questions in the order that they're received. So get them in early because usually on these live Q&As we get hundreds of questions and I usually don't have a chance to get through all of them. So if I don't get through your question, if I don't get through what you're asking, send that over through a direct message. All right, any suggestions for MS? Let's jump right in with not the easiest question here. So first, let me tell you a story. What got me into functional medicine originally, what got me down this path was my mom was diagnosed with MS when I was a junior in high school. She went on disability when I was a senior. She got a cane, she got a wheelchair, she went on all the medications. This was back in the 90s. And she was on this downward spiral, and we thought, you know what, that's probably going to be it. Your mom probably won't make it another 5 or 10 years. It's very progressive, and we were seeing some serious concerns there. We looked all around. We went, talked to the Mayo Clinic, went here, went there, tried all these different things, and we felt kind of hopeless. Fortunately, my dad retired. He moved down to the Ozarks in Missouri, found this doctor in this small town, 10,000 person town, and he started helping my mom unwind the why of her MS to the point where she was able to get off her medications, give away her wheelchair, give away her cane, to the point where, hey Jerry, good to see you, to the point where she was able to, her last MRI, have no more plaquing on her MRI. They went away, the plaques went away, her MS went away. That was 20 years ago. Now she's 79 years old. She does grading boot camp, goes out and gardens and cuts down trees and takes my kids fishing, all of these things. And why? Because she fixed the underlying reasons why. So here we go. For MS, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, alopecia, whatever autoimmune condition you want to talk about, you've got to get to the underlying root cause. And that is going to be, write these down. And Jess, if you want to post a video link on YouTube, I got tons of videos on there about autoimmune, but we've got adrenals, we've got blood sugar, we've got vitamin D, food allergens like gluten and dairy, we've got intestinal issues like leaky gut, infections, environmental toxins, and estrogenic events. All of these different things you've got to go through system by system by system, and that's how we've helped so many patients reverse their MS. And we've got testimonial videos on YouTube as well that you can check out some people on there. So again, welcome everybody. Dr. Ben Geyer here, F8 Well Centers offices in Colorado and Tennessee. We work with patients all over the country. Put down below where you're watching from. I'll give you a shout out, as well as let me know what type of questions you've got going on here. Vertigo, Kid Ray. So vertigo, that's another interesting one. Vertigo, a lot of different things. It can be the crystals in your ears, where you have to do the Epley maneuver and move the head around and get those into place. It can be an actual sensation issue where you just you don't know where your feet are in space. It could be that your cerebellum is out of balance. A lot of different things. April, head pressure and lightheaded all the time. I would look into sinuses. You may be having some sinus pressure. Hey Nicole in Massachusetts, good to see you. Maybe having some sinus pressure, lightheaded. I'd be looking into blood sugar. What's that blood sugar doing? That's one of the main reasons why we'll see lightheadedness. So you need to look in depth into where that is coming from. It could also be a blood pressure issue. Your blood pressure could be going too low and you're getting that lightheadedness. So you've got to dig deeper into there and figure those out. Nana 5075, what school or program would you recommend to become certified in holistic medicine? Depends what you want to do. You know, you could go all the way through a 4-year naturopathic school. You could go through chiropractic training and then specialize in functional medicine. You could go through a nutrition program. You could get a master's program in Western states in Portland. They've got online. It's a 2-year master's program in there. If you already have some underlying certifications or degrees, you can get certified by the by the Functional Medicine Institute on the IFM. You can get in there as well. But if you want some more specifics or like, hey, what do you think about this program? Send me a DM. My email is drben@F8 Well Centers. Widespread muscle pain. So again, this could be called fibromyalgia. This could be called any type of inflammatory condition, but widespread muscle pain, there's got to be a reason why. This is not just, oh, you've got some type of infection contributing to this. That's not going to do it. So again, put your questions down below, everybody. I'm going to get through as many as I can. Hey, Mariam in Germany, good to see you. Yeah, put those questions down below. And for everybody that is interested in thyroid, tonight, 6 Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a live thyroid masterclass, probably about an hour of talking, and then a bunch of questions and answers at the end. So look for that. That's going to be live on TikTok, and then we have a Zoom link as well that you can watch through Zoom if you do not have TikTok. So the widespread muscle pain, you've got to look into where that inflammation is coming from. Look at your C-reactive protein, look for rheumatoid factor, look for ANA to see if there's autoimmune conditions. You need to look into the adrenal glands. If the cortisol's up really high, over 12, then you may not be getting a good deep quality sleep state and you're not able to repair your muscles like you need to. If your sleep is horrible, that can be a big part of it as well. Let's jump here. Aaron, Southeast Missouri, researching clinical nutrition right now. Yeah, Aaron, shoot me over any courses that you're looking at, and I'll give you my 2 cents worth on that one. Yeah, we just flew into Springfield a couple weeks ago and went fishing down by Mountain Home and caught my 15-year-old, he's now 16, he caught a bunch of 20 to 25 inch trout. Emily, I have fatigue, dizziness, heart palpitations, hot and cold spells, urinary urgency, anxiety attacks. I've been tested. My heart, CBC panel, blood sugar, thyroid, B12, vitamin D, ANA, hormones, all tests come back normal. Today I'm testing a full thyroid panel and ferritin. What should I test next? So you want to run GGT is one of them. When you're running a full thyroid panel, you want to run Hashimoto's markers. So you want to run the TPO and the TG, the thyroglobulin antibodies. You want to run all T3 and T4, so the free and total T3 and T4, so four T3, T4 markers. You want to run your reverse T3. And so here's the deal though, is your vitamin D 60 to 80? If it's over 30, the lab's going to say it's okay, but vitamin D has to be 60 to 80. Is your blood sugar, how did they test that? Did they test your A1C, your non-fasting insulin, your glucose, all of these different markers? Are you testing your blood sugar throughout the day? Here's the deal. If somebody's having anxiety attacks, especially random anxiety, the number one thing I'm thinking about is blood sugar imbalances, especially the dips. Is that when that blood sugar goes down low, the adrenals kick in, they tell the liver to kick out glucose, but then you've got adrenaline flowing through your body. So if you're having anxiety attacks and you're not just an anxious person, look to the blood sugar. That's going to be a huge, huge part of it. Again, welcome everybody that's just jumping on. Dr. Ben Galliard here, F8 Well Centers. We have offices in Colorado, Tennessee, and we work with patients all over the U.S., Canada, Australia, wherever you're at, reach out and we'll talk about it. Any tips for fibromyalgia? Yeah, same thing that we were just talking about with the muscle pain. Fibromyalgia is not a disease. And I'm not saying you're making it up, but it's not a disease. You can't just take some antibiotics. You can't just take some thyroid medication. Nothing is going to fix fibromyalgia just by taking a drug, an herb, anything like that. You've got to find where that underlying inflammatory condition is coming from. And that's really what I look at every single day with patients. It doesn't matter whether they're labeled fibromyalgia or not, whether they've got muscle pain or joint pain or both. It does not matter. Where is that inflammation coming from? Is it coming from the adrenals, from the gut, from the microbiome, good bacteria, bad bacteria is out of balance? Is it the brain because you're in this chronic fight or flight state? So many different things can contribute to that. So don't just get hooked on, I have fibromyalgia, now give me this herb, give me this drug, give me this surgery, whatever it is. You've got to know, okay, I've been diagnosed fibromyalgia. Now let's get a second opinion and really figure out why my body is not working like it needs to. And that's going to be a big part of it. So yeah, Lorraine, another one, help with chronic back pain and fibromyalgia. So again, you've got to fix this inflammatory process. What's your C-reactive protein doing? Do you have high ANA, which could actually be a lupus issue there as well? You need to take a step back, stabilize your blood sugar. So keep your blood sugar 85 to 110 all day long. And what you do there is you just eat the way you need to eat to keep it 85 to 110. You need to look at your gut, probably need to do some kill off, do some rebuilding, some repairing in there. You need to look into the thyroid. If you're hypothyroid, a lot of people with hypothyroid can be labeled fibromyalgia. Praise God. Good to see you there. Need help with a natural solution for constipation symptoms. Tiffany, so here's the deal. Do we just want to change the symptoms of constipation, or do we want to fix the why? And that's, if you get one thing out of this entire Q&A today, think about this. Is it constipation symptoms that you're just wanting to fix? Because that's easy. You could go take some Metamucil, you could take some Miralax, you could take some type of suppositories, all types of extreme things to get that going. On the natural side, I could give you some magnesium, I could give you some aloe vera, some vitamin C. Different things are going to make you go. If you just want a symptom changer, go buy magnesium citrate. And Jess, you can put a link to the Well store in there. We've got a great magnesium citrate. You just take enough until you start going, and it's going to make you go. But that doesn't fix why you've got your constipation. You stop taking whatever it is, it's going to come right back. So you've got to fix why you don't have constipation. Sometimes it's in your brain. You're in this chronic fight or flight state, and you're not able to rest and digest because you fight or flight all the time. Maybe it's in your digestive tract, and your microbiome is out of balance, and you don't have the right good bacteria and bad bacteria and yeast and the different pathogens are out of balance. Maybe it is because you have scar tissue and you had a gallbladder removal, you had a hysterectomy, you had a C-section, you had your appendix taken out, all these different things that can create scar tissue, and you're not squeezing it through. So you've got to fix that why. Yes, Connie Johnson, do you have a treatment for hemifacial spasms or trigeminal neuralgia? Thanks. So Connie, the thing that I would recommend for trigeminal neuralgia is what's called a nasal specific procedure. We actually put a little balloon into the nasal passages, 1, 2, 3 different passages, inflate them, and we get the cranial bones to release, and we've seen people's trigeminal neuralgia get better from that. Darla, what causes AFib? AFib can be coming from a bunch of different things. It can actually be a brain thing. We're in this fight or flight and our heart's getting out of balance. That it can actually be a structural thing where the ribs are out of place, putting pressure on the sac around the heart, on the pericardium, and that can contribute to the AFib. So there are different things that can contribute to that. Let's go here. Missed a few. All right, is there anything besides surgery to know if you have endometriosis? Yeah, so think about this. Endometriosis is going to be where the body's laying down this scar tissue, these adhesions, all of these things, but why is it there in the first place? So the first thing I would look at before doing surgery, unless it's so bad, it's like pulling on your intestines and you can't even go to the bathroom. So the first thing you need to do is look into stabilizing everything that could be causing inflammation. Stabilize your blood sugar 85 to 110. Look at your liver, make sure you're clearing out the hormones like you need to. Do liver cleanse, detoxification, things like that. You need to dig into what is actually going on with your hormones in the first place, and are you not making enough? Are your adrenals out of balance, and that's causing an imbalance of whether you're making the right amount of estrogen? So there's a lot of things, Nicole, that you can do and that you need to look at. Even if you do have surgery, you didn't fix the why. You didn't fix why your body's going into this endometriosis state in the first place. So you've got to address that. Otherwise, either endometriosis is going to come back or it's going to express itself a different way. I have MS, over 300 lesions on my brain. Michelle, yeah, you know what? I have seen many patients heal from MS, whether their lesions, they have less lesions, the lesions get smaller, the lesions totally go away like my mom. I have seen that happen, but you've got to start with correcting why the body's attacking itself in the first place. You can't just take some immunosuppressant drug and expect for it to get better. Will things like Lyme or mold, oops, I jumped ahead on that one, sorry. Will things like Lyme or mold come up in the test that you run? Yes, so we don't run a specific Lyme or mold test right at first. And for anybody that is out there, come into the Colorado or Tennessee offices, or we can send you to a local lab anywhere in the country, or even up in Canada. We can get you blood work panel as well, and we will get all the information we need to have a very good diagnosis of which systems are out of balance, and then we can start moving our feet. So so we don't start out with Lyme and mold testing. We start out with the basics, and then if we need to go down that path, we can. Michelle, you're in Colorado, awesome. We are in Fort Collins and Highlands Ranch. Kid Ray in Las Vegas. Perks downtown, Gulf Coast, Mississippi. Good to see you. Hello from Wisconsin, Janet. Yellow 1980. Hi from Utah. Christy in Georgia. I had it for a whole year already. Stopped driving and working. You know what? You got to take massive action. Tennessee random girl, Tennessee with fibromyalgia and chronic Epstein-Barr virus. So those kind of go hand in hand. If somebody has chronic Epstein-Barr virus, they can be labeled fibromyalgia, they can be labeled chronic fatigue syndrome, all of these other things. So sometimes fibromyalgia is actually because of this chronic viral infection, chronic Epstein-Barr. But think about this. So many people, like upwards of 70, 80, 90%, depending on which report you look at, have Epstein-Barr virus in their body. And why do some people reactivate and have these issues? Because they let their system get run down enough. Stress, not sleeping, blood sugar, dietary, all of these different things. So you've got to start with the basics and start fixing system by system. Come see us in the Brentwood office in Tennessee. We would love to do a brain map, love to get that blood work done and give you everything you need to do to get started. Upper stomach discomfort and middle low back pain. So upper stomach discomfort, if we're talking here, stomach discomfort, we're talking acid reflux, indigestion, heartburn, any of those things. Do these steps now. These four things. I think it'll be four. Do these four things. So you're going to chew 30 times per bite. Chew, 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 chew. Hard to do that when you're in a rush, right? So you've got to sit down, you've got to relax, chew 30 times per bite. You want to not drink fluids with your meals. Do not drink more than a couple ounces. If you're like, oh, I need to drink to get my food down, you're not chewing enough. You're going to dilute your stomach acid if you're drinking during your meal. You want to keep your proteins and your starches separate. So all the traditional American fare, hamburger on a bun, turkey sandwich, eggs and toast, all those things are not going to digest very well. And if you have especially an upper stomach, you're not getting enough stomach acid, things like that, you need to make that change where you're not going to eat those proteins and starches together. And then you want to eat fruit by itself. And then the last one is eat in a relaxed environment. So shut your laptop, get away from your desk, do these different things to make the change there so that you're eating in a relaxed environment. Aaron loved fly fishing. Yeah, I wish I could show you some pictures. I mean, they were massive. Emily, vitamin D is 70. That's good. A1C is 5.2. Here's the deal with A1C. A1C is the average of the last 3 months of your blood sugar. It's great. If it's high, you're going up too high and you've got a prediabetes. If it's under 5, you're going hypoglycemic too much. But at 5.2, I have no idea if that's good or not because it's an average. You could be hitting 160 and 60 in the same day. So just because A1C is 5.2, that's actually a perfect average, but we don't know. I see patients all the time, even at that number, they're swinging 100 points and causing major stress. Marianne, I want to take emulsified oil of oregano in ADP, 50 milligrams for H. pylori. Can you tell me how many tablets per day and for how long? Yeah, so the oil of oregano, one of my favorite forms, And with our patients, we'll go upwards of three times a day on that one, Miriam. Were you able to get that over in Germany? That's great. Good to see you. And is there a CGM where the data just goes to my doctor instead of to an app that I can see? I had so much anxiety from the CGM, I had to take it off after 3 days. Alarm was going off all the time from the lows. Yeah, Emily. So yes, you can turn it off. You can turn off all the settings. You don't have to have the have it, put it on the back page of your phone or whatever. But yes, that there is a connection that we have where we can look at our patient's data and be able to get that information. So a continuous glucose monitor, if you guys have not heard of that, a continuous glucose monitor goes on the back of the arm, can go on the abdomen, and it tells us 24/7, which is good for some people, but maybe not for Emily. She gets a little anxious. 24/7, we're able to see all day, all night, everything, what that blood sugar is doing. We want it 85 to 110 all day long, whether it's after a meal, before a meal, morning, night, whatever it is, doesn't matter. We want that blood sugar as stabilized as possible. We're able to see people reverse their diabetes, their inflammation. It's a huge part of why people are getting their MS better, all these different things. So, and tarsal tunnel foot. So tarsal tunnel foot issues. Anything that is ligamentous, think about the adrenal glands. The adrenals are our stress glands, but they also give tone to our ligaments. And so if you're on your feet a bunch and you have adrenal fatigue, adrenal issues, your ligaments are not going to support that and you start dropping. Then you start getting plantar fasciitis, tarsal tunnel syndrome. And so if you're having any of these foot issues, if at the end of the day your feet are really sore, look at your adrenals. You probably need to get that fixed. Help with rotator cuff tendonitis. So you've got to work on the inflammation. Yes, you need to do probably some structural things to make sure that joint is in the right place. You want to look for somebody that does AMIT, Advanced Muscle Integration Technique, AMIT, or MAT, Muscle Activation Technique. They will go in specifically, so look both of those up, AMIT and MAT, and if there's anybody local to you, go and have them test every muscle, reset each and every muscle so that it's not going to be rotating forward, back, whatever. But as far as inflammatory process, turmeric, resveratrol, fish oil, a bunch of different anti-inflammatories can be helpful. With Marie, myasthenia gravis, can it be reversed or remission? I personally have not worked with myasthenia gravis. I've been in practice for over 20 years, and yet it definitely is a challenge, and people can get better. I don't know if it can be reversed itself, but a lot of the other symptoms coming from it can be helped. Anything to help gastroparesis? Absolutely. I just had a lady yesterday in 3 years she's been throwing up. So if you guys don't know about gastroparesis, you've got to Google this. It is crazy. There's so many people out there that are throwing up literally every single day. It is crazy what we're seeing. I had a patient, she was throwing up for 10 years straight, and now she hasn't in months and months and months and is doing amazing. So gastroparesis, why would the body want to throw it back up? Because it's not going through. So you've got to look at all of the sphincters, make sure those are going, make sure the peristalsis is moving, make sure your vagus nerve is working like it's supposed to. You might need to do some coffee retention enemas, working on the microbiome, working on the leaky gut, working on stomach acid production, all of these different things to optimize that digestion. So then the body says, you know what, I'm going to go. And then last but not least is looking between the ears. If you are in this chronic fight or flight state, you are not going to be thinking about digesting. You're going to be thinking about fight or flight. Norway, I can't afford to purchase vitamins and minerals. What can you recommend? Hey, Tiffany in Norway. So here's the deal. If you can't afford vitamins and minerals, what can you recommend? You better be eating as optimal of a diet as possible. Something that's going to keep your blood sugar as steady as possible. Easiest way to do that is good quality proteins up in Norway. You can get fish, sardines, a lot of good fatty fish, which is going to replace your fish oil. Get some extra fats in there, get some grass-fed butter, ghee, coconut oil, some of those things, lots of good vegetables, and then good fats, and keep that blood sugar as stabilized as possible. And if that's all you can afford right now, then get started there. If we work with you remotely, can you find out all of this just from the one test you run? Yes. So the blood work that we run, no matter where you are, we're going to run autoimmune markers, so ANA and rheumatoid factor, which is rheumatoid arthritis. We're going to run Hashimoto's antibodies. We're going to run complete thyroid panel, T3, T4, reverse T3. We're going to run inflammatory markers, C-reactive protein, homocysteine, looking at vitamin D, at fatty liver, uric acid for gout, all the hormones, running this really in-depth panel, and we can tell a lot of different things. I've got many doctors that work with me at F8, and over 100 years of experience in functional medicine between all of them, and we are able to sit down and see exactly what is out of balance in there. So yes, we can get this blood work done no matter where you are. So click the link in the bio, or send us a DM, and we will go through exactly what that looks like. Schedule that discovery call, and we'll figure out what is going on. Okay, how do you know if you need to kill off bugs in the gut? What kind of analysis exactly should be made? So Ann Pav, look at your neutrophils in your blood work, and if it's over 58%, neutrophils in the blood work over 58%, very good chance you have gut bacteria, and you're going to need to kill some things off. Also look at symptoms. If you're getting gas, bloating, indigestion, heartburn, reflux, constipation, diarrhea, any of these things, you probably need to do some kill off as well. Look at your tongue. If your tongue is white coated, you probably need to do some kill off. What could cause high HDL without an obvious underlying cause? I don't do high protein diet, crazy workouts. My HDL is very high, and the doctor doesn't seem concerned. It's never been high until last December, and still is. Any ideas? Yeah, so it can actually be oxidizing. That HDL is the good cholesterol. It can actually be oxidizing free radicals. So my concern is that you actually have a bunch of inflammation going on in your body, and even though it's the good cholesterol going up high, it's probably over 100, something like that, but you need to calm down the inflammatory process in your body. All right, guys, I'm trying to get through these as fast as I can, get everybody's questions answered. If I don't get to them, there's still another 100 on TikTok. We've got another 20 or so on Facebook and YouTube. So if I don't get through these, send us a direct message. Send me an email, drben@f8wellcenters.com, and I will get back to you. And vitamin D won't come up. So look into, we've got a great liquid vitamin D. Jess, send Connie Schrader a link for the liquid vitamin D. If it won't come up, it's the liquid D on the Well Store, Jess. So vitamin D, if it won't come up, usually you need some additional cofactors with it, and in a good liquid form. What blood tests needed, we just went through a bunch of those. Retired chiropractor here. Hey, Bubbles Hughes, my current colleague I love is in Canada, Functional Med Pro. Good deal. Good to see you, and wake up with a headache every morning. I'm sober, haha. So a couple things. One, it could be simple. It could be structural. Have you tried like tons of, we just went through this with one of mine. I've got 4 boys. One of them kept waking up with neck pain, headache, things like that. We tried like 5 different pillows, finally got him one that he wakes up good with. Other things would be even looking into the liver. Some people that wake up with a headache, it could actually be a liver issue. So look into liver, possibly doing a detox. Gail from Georgia, Jennifer, thank you for streaming. You are so welcome. And what is the RA factor and the ANA are high, but not high enough. So Crazy Mama, here's the deal. If your rheumatoid factor, which is the rheumatoid arthritis test, and the ANA are high, but not high enough, that means it's not high enough for us to prescribe you a drug, but it's high enough that I guarantee it's causing you symptoms and causing problems and all of the reasons why. But think about this. Those are autoimmune markers. Those are not the cause. Those are the symptom. So now let's get to the cause. Time for a second opinion, crazy mama, is what we're looking at. Is it's time for a second opinion, and we've got to go through system by system by system and work through those different ones. Again, welcome everybody. If you're just jumping on, Dr. Ben Galliard here at FA Well Centers, Colorado, Tennessee offices. I've got lots of doctors around the country ready to work with anybody and everybody that's got health issues, that's motivated to get their life back. We can do blood work anywhere in the U.S. There's labs local that we can use, and so it's really about getting to the underlying why, letting the body heal from the inside out. There's no amount of drugs, surgery, supplements, whatever that you can put on somebody that now they're going to heal. It's give the body what it needs from the inside, just like here with this rheumatoid factor and the ANA. Okay, great. Well, guess what? Now we got to go through, figure out which systems are out of balance, and that's when we see those heal up. Do not wait. Crazy mama, I tell you this, do not wait until you have major symptoms and then do something. That is not an answer. That's not a solution. You are destroying tissue every single day. You've got to make these changes right now. What do you suggest for degenerative disc disease pain? You've got to get this is Southern Bell 681, you've got to get your inflammation calmed down as much as feasibly possible. Yes, you can do traction, you can do, there's all these different things structurally, but I'm not going to talk about structural because, you need to be hand in hand with somebody to do that. What I'm going to talk about is the metabolic. I have people that are bone on bone in their knee when they come in. They can't even hardly get out of the chair, and within a month or two, they come in and they're doing this. They're like, oh my gosh, look at my knee. It's doing so good. It's not that we gave them more space, but we got rid of the inflammation in their body. And now, sure, they may still need a knee replacement in 5 years, but now they don't have the pain, and it's not going to have to be right now. And they're just doing so much better. So degenerative disc disease, you've got to get that inflammation down. Betty, legs swell when standing, short period of time, turn purple, red, very painful. What can it be? It's a circulation issue. That's the short and sweet answer. But why are you having a circulation issue? Look into these things. Adrenals. The adrenals give tone to your blood vessels. So if you're pooling blood like that, then it could be an adrenal thing. It could just be a circulation thing, where you need to get nitric oxide. You need to get some other things going to get that circulation going. Could be that your varicose veins are just so big and bloated that they're just sitting down there. All right, Samina, I have Hashimoto's, taking meds, taking iron, have so many allergies, I feel like meds don't do it. Well, here's the deal. The meds are not going to do anything for your Hashimoto's, because remember, Hashimoto's is not a thyroid disease. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease that's attacking the thyroid. So just by taking thyroid medication, levothyroxine, #1 best-selling drug in this country, you will never fix your Hashimoto's. So you've got to go down this path of fixing the why, fixing those autoimmune imbalances, going through and saying, okay, what are the adrenals doing? What's the blood sugar doing? What's the gut doing? Do I have any infections going on? Any H. pylori, any Epstein-Barr virus? All of these things, you will never get fixed. It's time for a second opinion. Samina, you are not going to get fixed just by taking the meds, or taking iron isn't going to fix your low ferritin. You've got to fix why your body's going haywire in the first place. So again, sorry guys, I'm trying to get through as many of these as I can now. It's showing we got like 150 to get through on here, so I'm going to do the best I can. Patricia, good to see you there. Best way to hydrate yourself from home if you think you're dehydrated from flu or cold. The Celtic sea salt, you can get that on Amazon, any health food store. Celtic sea salt, put that in your water, at least a teaspoon or 2 per day, and drink through there. But if you're really concerned about it, if you're in any type of a metroplex, Google home IV treatment, and there are people that are mobile and they will come and give you IVs. You can get glutathione is awesome. You can get a Myers cocktail. You can just get straight up saline. So many good IVs do there. What can I take for high cholesterol? I can't take prescription drugs or plant steroids or red yeast rice. They absolutely kill my muscles. I tried fish oil and omega-3 oils, but it didn't lower it. Thank you for all you do. You betcha, Robin. So here's the deal. Number one reason why I see cholesterol high is the blood sugar is out of balance, especially going too high. So first thing you want to do, Robin, is stabilize your blood sugar between 85 and 110 all day long. Every one of our new patients get a continuous glucose monitor, and they get that for 3 months and are able to see exactly what that blood sugar is doing. If you don't have access to that, it is prescription only, then you would want to use a finger prick glucose monitor and check it 45 to 60 minutes after a meal. And you want to do that consistently time and time again, and you'll start seeing which foods make it go up, which ones make it go down, and you want to keep that as steady as possible in there. So so start on the blood sugar, Robin. That is going to be the best place to go. What would you suggest for a teen with mono? So, Nikki, this is the Epstein-Barr virus we were just talking about. You've got to take some massive action, because there's a very good chance that if she doesn't get fixed, that this Epstein-Barr will sit in her body and it'll come back later in life. There's actually a lot of research showing that Epstein-Barr virus drives autoimmune conditions and can lead to MS and rheumatoid arthritis and lupus and all these different ones. So you've got to take massive action. You've got to build that immune system up. Echinacea, glandular is really good. One of my favorite supplements, Bioimmunozyme from Biotics. It's one of the best things for mono that you can possibly do. Bioimmunozyme. I don't think we have that on our website, but yeah, you can try that one. Let's go here. What can I take to help stop clenching my jaw? This is Daydreaming 91. So clenching the jaw is usually this underlying stress state. I would get what's called a brain map done, and then from there do neurofeedback. If you're close to the Colorado or Tennessee offices, come and get a brain map. Otherwise, wherever you are in the country, if you can get a brain map, that's great. If you don't have somebody close by, we have home neurofeedback units that we get out to our patients, and there's relaxation settings, there's sleep settings, all types of different things to help you get out of that fight or flight state. My mother, this is Robert, my mother's showing onset signs of dementia. What's the medication they just released that will help? So here's the deal, Robert, there is no medication that will help. There's this injectable that's like $50,000 a year for Alzheimer's, and the research really shows that it does almost nothing. But here's what's happening in Alzheimer's and dementia world is that they're trying to attack the plaquing in the brain. And they go, ooh, somebody has Alzheimer's, get rid of the plaque because there's plaque there, and that's the problem. But here's the deal. That's not the problem. The plaque is not the problem. It's actually what they're seeing now in research is that the plaque is trying to support, and it's almost like a scab. It's trying to protect the brain. So now they're just getting rid of this plaquing, and they go, oh, well, now they still have Alzheimer's, but right now there's no drug that is going to help dementia or Alzheimer's that we know of, and there probably won't be. It's like cancer. There's no, we haven't improved in cancer treatment in the last 40 years because there is no magic bullet for cancer. Cancer is a metabolic disease driven by blood sugar imbalances, insulin resistance, all these things. Same thing with Alzheimer's and dementia. We now call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. It is a massive, massive issue that we're seeing with this brain and neurodegeneration. So one, you better be exercising, and not just going for a walk, but you've got to be doing like HIIT exercise activity. You've got to keep that blood sugar as stabilized as possible. Almost guarantee her blood sugar is not where it needs to be. She's pre-diabetic, diabetic. You've got to get the inflammation down. You've got to do everything you possibly can to get this inflammatory state down in her body. Hey Dan, good to see you. Wow, sweet shot. For sure, my sugar was 670. Yeah, that's a little crazy. I don't like it over 110. I'm diabetic. I have a hard time with neuropathy. Yeah, not enough. You got, I'm not sure, note, not enough. Anyways, I'm diabetic. I've had a hard time with neuropathy. fix your diabetes. That's the number one thing you've got to do. There is no magic neuropathy treatment. Yes, there's devices I've used in the past that run current through the feet and actually start rebuilding those nerves. There's B vitamins, all types of different things that can help. But just like my book that I wrote, Rebuild Your Brain, Stop the Damage and Start the Repair. We've got to stop damaging those nerves. Otherwise, there's no amount of repair that's going to fix it. So what do you have to do? You've got to get a continuous glucose monitor, and you've got to look every single moment at what that blood sugar is doing. And if it goes up high, do not eat that again. Do not do that, and you will see massive changes. What about trigeminal neuralgia? Deanna, again, the nasal specific procedure. I put a balloon into the different nasal passages, inflate it, adjust the cranial bones, takes pressure off of that trigeminal nerve there. Gut health, what can you do? So here's the deal. You got to figure out what part of the digestive tract is out of balance. Chew your food a lot. Make sure you have enough stomach acid. If food's sitting there burning, anything like that, you've got to get some betaine hydrochloride. If you lost your gallbladder to a surgery, you need to be taking bile salts. If you've got undigested food in your stool, you need to be taking enzymes. You need fiber if you're not going on a daily basis. You need to be pushing things through. So many different things to do on that. Any advice for panic disorder? Again, get a brain map and do neurofeedback. There's no supplement, there's no herb. Sure, there's things that can calm you down, but that will never fix it. The best thing, every one of our offices has it. We do brain map, we do neurofeedback, not because I want to pay more people and I want to rent more space and take up more time and energy, but because it works. If you're not close to the Colorado or Tennessee offices, look into brain map and neurofeedback locally. Otherwise, we can send you a home unit anywhere in the country. And thank you for the healthy numbers. You are so welcome. And let's jump down here. Sorry guys, we got so many on here. Paula, great to see you, Paula. You guys getting some snow up there? How do you treat anemia? So anemia, you got to figure out what it's coming from. Two types of anemia. One is iron anemia, so if your ferritin's really low, and one is more of a B12 folic acid anemia. That's if your MCV and MCH are high and your iron's in a good level. So if it's an iron anemia, you've got to look into that gut lining. You've got to look into why you're not absorbing and utilizing that iron. If it's a B12 folic acid, one of the most common reasons is actually drinking alcohol will cause a low B12 folic acid state in that one. How do you bring inflammation down? I have degenerative disc disease. So again, Patricia, stabilize the blood sugar. Work on the leaky gut. If we have leaky gut, we're going to be getting inflammation. Things going to get into the bloodstream too early and create other issues. You need to look at, is your liver detoxifying like it's supposed to? Are you in a chronic fight or flight state? That's going to keep you revved up and in this inflammatory process. So major issues there that need to be addressed. And so, it's going to be huge to be able to go through and system by system make that change. So, Shauna, all I can find is doctors fixing symptoms, can't find one to diagnose me. So here's the deal, Shauna. What do you need diagnosis with? Ultimately, you don't need diagnosis with, it's this one condition like a fibromyalgia or like an IBS or whatever. You need a diagnosis of the systems that are out of balance, and then you can start treating those systems, not treating the symptoms. We don't want to treat the pain. We don't want to treat the inflammation. We don't want to treat the constipation. We want to treat why that system is out of balance, contributing to that symptom, and that's when you get true healing. Otherwise, you're just covering up symptoms. But if you need a second opinion, let us know. Schedule that discovery call, and we would we would love to talk to you. Any tips to avoid the dawn phenomenon? This is when that blood sugar dips down and then spikes up before bed. So you would want to even take a snack before bed. Could be a slice of turkey breast and a slice of cheese. It could be a little bit of apple and almond butter, something like that, to keep that blood sugar more steady. But the number one thing you can do is get your blood sugar stabilized as much as possible throughout the day, and that dawn phenomenon will not be as intense. Yep, so I've got trigeminal neuralgia as well. This is the third or fourth one today. Bilateral, all three branches. Yeah, so I would look into, it's called nasal specific. If you can't find somebody locally, you can fly out to Fort Collins. I can do it here. I've got a buddy in outside Oklahoma City that can do it as well. There's only a few people around the country that can do it, but we'll put a balloon into the different nasal passages, inflate it, adjust those cranial bones, and there's a chance those nerves can start getting better. I'm still numb from my tummy tuck 10 years ago, Kelly. So you've got scar tissue, but you know, probably that, maybe you cut the nerves and they'll never grow back, but it's probably scar tissue. I would go in and do some, look into a massage therapist, PT, a chiropractor, somebody that does visceral manipulation and scar tissue work, and see if that can help. Do you know if Mounjaro helps with pain? So Mounjaro is this latest and greatest blood sugar drug. They're using it for weight loss in Hollywood and all over the place. I was reading one thing, if you've got certain insurance, it's like $150 or $100 a month, but if you don't, it's like $750 a month. It's a little crazy. So Mounjaro does nothing for pain. It's not a pain drug. It's going to help lower blood sugar. So if you have high blood sugar and you want to take a drug for that, sure, Mounjaro, Ozempic, some of these different drugs that are new to the market will help lower your blood sugar. And we know that high blood sugar can create pain and inflammation and some things like that. So sure, you could try Mounjaro if you just want to take a drug. Most people that I work with, and actually all the people that I work with, because if somebody just wants to take a drug or a pill, I don't work with them. The people that we work with want to fix the why, and they want to learn, hey, if I eat this, my blood sugar goes up too high. So instead of like, hey, I want it to go up high and take this drug and make it not go up as high, and so I can eat whatever I want, they come to us and we figure out what to eat. We work on the liver, we work on the gut, we work on the inflammatory processes, all these different things. So Mounjaro will do nothing for the pain. It can lower blood pressure or blood sugar, which can then decrease that inflammatory process in the body. And is gabapentin good for fibro? Well, here's the deal. Again, we talked about this already. Fibromyalgia is not a disease. Is fibromyalgia for you a nerve thing, a nerve pain thing? Gabapentin is designed to affect nerves and kind of downregulate that nerve pain issue. But fibromyalgia, sometimes it's not a nerve pain thing. Sometimes it's an inflammatory thing. Sometimes it's a thyroid thing. Sometimes it's an Epstein-Barr thing. So gabapentin, for some people, can help their fibromyalgia symptoms and their fibromyalgia pain. But it does nothing to fix the fibromyalgia in the first place. And that's, if you get nothing out of this video today except that, that's what I want you to think about. Why is the body going haywire? Just like we've got Judy here. PBC, fibromyalgia, psoriasis, psoriatic arthritis, multiple spine, neuropathic pain, in a pain loop. Absolutely. You know why? Judy, you've got autoimmune, you've got inflammatory conditions, your blood sugar's jacked, I guarantee. Your gut's not right from all these meds and all these different things, I guarantee that. Your liver's not right. You are in this pain loop, and you've got to get out of it. You need a second opinion. There's no amount of drugs, there's no amount of surgery that are going to fix you. You've got to get out of this. Yeah, Mounjaro makes me so constipated. Yeah, I mean, is that great? Yeah, that is not so good. I've tried trigeminal neuralgia too. Why do so many of us have it? Yeah, that's a great question. This is Sabrina, And what about that stuff, colon broom for weight loss? I'm not sure about that. My mom has trigeminal neuralgia also. Is elevated CRP always heart related? No, if you sprain your ankle, yeah, you could have an elevated CRP. I had a patient, she redid her blood work and her CRP was through the roof, but she had an active sinus infection at that time. And I have trigeminal neuralgia, very painful. What's the deal, guys? Why's everybody got this trigeminal neuralgia? Yeah, it's intense, isn't it? Have a protein shake before bed for somebody that with a dawn effect. Yeah, protein shake could be helpful, but again, stabilize your blood sugar all day long, and that can make the biggest difference. My daughter is in pain, fatigued, and depressed. Can she have fibro? No, she doesn't have. Hey, Sramas, thank you for the rose. My daughter is in pain, fatigued, and depressed. Can she have fibro? Fibromyalgia is not a disease. Fibromyalgia is a condition. It's a diagnosis. Yes, she's in pain. She's tired. She's depressed. Her muscles hurt. Her joints hurt. Whatever it is, she could get a diagnosis of fibromyalgia, but that does nothing to fix it. You've got to take a step back and go through system by system by system and make those massive changes. So again, guys, thanks for jumping on. Send us a direct message or click that link in the bio, schedule that discovery call, and we'll walk you through how you can get your life back and make these massive changes. So good to see everybody. I'm going to take a couple more here, then I've got to jump. And long haul COVID, after effects of COVID, hair loss, no energy, headaches, etc. So yeah, number one cause of long COVID is reactivated Epstein-Barr. We've already spoken about Epstein-Barr virus, and Epstein-Barr virus, that's the monovirus. It gets reactivated. There was a study, the number of people that had COVID and no long COVID afterwards, only about 10% was reactivated Epstein-Barr. The people that had long COVID, a significant amount of them had reactivated Epstein-Barr virus. So you've got to go in. You've got to calm down the inflammatory process. You've got to work on that virus. You've got to go through and really get your body into this healthy state again. All right, Marion brought A1C down to 7.9 from 9 point, or 7.4 from 9.4. Still full-blown diabetes. So that's great. You know, you took whatever drug it is. And yet you're still full-blown diabetic. You've got to take massive action with what you're putting in your body. Do you feel Mounjaro would be helpful with insulin resistance? Maybe, maybe not. You know, if you still eat like crap, and just like Moni 98 Vale, right before you said I'm diabetic, pill makes me sick. You know, will it help with insulin resistance? Maybe, but you know what would really help with insulin resistance is putting a continuous glucose monitor on your arm and looking exactly why that blood sugar is going up, why it's going down, keeping it as steady as possible, and that will fix your insulin resistance way better. I would much rather, you know, if insurance companies are paying for Mounjaro or Ozempic or any of these, I would much rather than pay for a continuous glucose monitor and be able to see massive changes with just by educating and learning what is going on there. So, I just made a discovery appointment with you, need to talk with you. Yeah, Deanna Batchenheimer. Awesome. So again, anybody that needs help, anybody that needs support, if you are writing questions on here, you need a second opinion. You haven't gotten your answers. They haven't fixed you. They haven't given you enough drugs, done enough surgeries to get this fixed. You need to get this underlying why. Schedule that discovery call. You'll speak with one of my team members, and then you can schedule with myself or one of my F8 doctors around the country if you can make it into one of the Colorado offices. Tennessee, we have people drive in 400, 500, 600 miles, fly into Denver from California, all over the place. Come see us. You know, it's great. Nashville, everybody wants to go see Nashville. Denver, everybody wants to go to Denver. So come ski. Here, but look here. We've got snow coming down in Colorado. You know, come ski and take a day and see Dr. Katie at the Highlands Ranch office in Denver. go down to Nashville, spend a girls' weekend, and spend an extra day with Dr. Steiner and Dr. Pompa down there, and they will help you figure out what is truly going on. So if you can't get into one of the offices, we can work remotely with you anywhere in the country. We can get you blood work, any lab around you, we're going to be able to get you in and get that squared away. So I know there's probably 150 questions I did not get to, maybe 200. Send us a DM, send us a link. I've got email, Dr. Ben at F8 Well Centers. Get on our website, f8wellcenters.com. Tons of information on there. YouTube, over 700 videos. You can go through and for the next 3 weeks, watch me blabber away about autoimmune and thyroid and gut and testosterone and hormones, all these different things. Tonight, live on TikTok, and then live, we've got Zoom link as well down in the comments. 6 Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to be going a thyroid masterclass. If you or a loved one's got any thyroid issues, get on this call. I'm going to be going in depth into everything that we do with patients, everything I've learned over the last 20 plus years, and letting you know exactly where you need to start, what you need to test, how you need to go about getting your thyroid better. Then we'll have live Q&A on that one, and just keep an eye out. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. We've got it everywhere. Just want to get as much information. Both my parents were teachers, my grandparents were teachers. It's in my nature. I just want to get you guys as ready and prepared to have your body do as much healing as feasibly possible. We're talking the body can heal from the inside out. There's no amount of drug, there's no amount of surgery, no amount of supplements that's going to fix you. It is your body that has that healing potential, and we want to open that up. Love seeing you guys. Be well. Let me know what questions you have. Take care.